Doubles and coffee. A few people have sent me CHALKDUST, one of his tunes for this year, Everybody Cussing the PNM. And a few people are supporters of the UNC and so on. And maybe I'm not too sure, but maybe you all don't understand or didn't listen to what CHALKDUST is singing in Everybody Cussing the PNM. Because his diction and his projection of his voice is not what it used to be. That's okay, that happens when we get older. But let me just tell you, this song by CHALKDUST, Everybody Cussing the PNM, is an apology for the PNM. He is an apologist for the PNM. While he's trying to say a bit of the truth, because everybody really cussing the PNM because the PNM is terrible. What CHALKDUST does, verse by verse, is make excuse for the PNM. For example, in the first verse, he says all your bill, all your house, near water and on riverbank, just like what Fitzgerald Hines say about lagoon and so on. And then all your cussing the PNM when you flood out. They send boat and thing to save all you, but all your cussing the PNM. Rowley didn't send nothing. No help came. ODPM wasn't there. It's just falsehoods. So don't pretend and all you feel because he used the words everybody cussing the PNM that he's singing against the PNM. He making apologies and excuses for the PNM. All the flooding for the last 7 years. With no clearing of the riverbanks, no dredging, no drainage, lack of spending. They put 12 million and they spend 1 million in flood mitigation. Nothing in Port of Spain. It drizzled for 25 minutes and flooding. CHALKDUST is singing on the stage to make excuse for the PNM. So all you don't get confused with what, all you want to listen good, you know. Listen carefully. When he's talking the next one, second verse, he talk about everybody cussing about Rowley goat pen. Meaning, well, the man just have a farm, he have a goat pen, he's a prime minister. Yes, CHALKDUST, where he get the animals from? Did he get the animals from his friend? And did the friend also get a quarry to do farming, but it's a bluestone quarry in a repo given by the government? Why is Rowley doing business? What is the profits that have come to Rowley by his bad economic policies that raise food prices and raise the price of meat? What is his profit? What is his connection with his Warner friend and Warner company people who he also put one of the ladies on the police service commission? You ain't singing about that. When he talk about bad driving, he say all you're driving bad and all you're dying on the road and so on. That is not PNM fault, but all you're cussing the PNM. Never mind that the roads are the worst and many people, motorbike riders, motorcyclists, people are dodging pothole, crashing and killing themselves on the bad road. That has nothing to do with the PNM, but all you're cussing the PNM, he say. When he said people thieving manhole cover, and I assume also with innuendo, buying scrap iron, old battery, buying them copper wire and so on. He's saying people thieving that, but all you're blaming the PNM. Not understanding that the economic devastation through the policies and the crashing of the energy sector, job loss, COVID-19, lockdowns with no border control, that just decimated businesses, 6,000 SMEs closed down, that caused people to want to have to go and scrape a living through stealing copper and picking up snail in bucket. You ain't saying about that. But he's trying to make apologies for the PNM, as if the PNM has no responsibility for anything. CHALKDUST, he also has the audacity to say he don't support no party. CHALKDUST, give me a flipping chance now. You're not even man enough to say you're a PNM. He then talk about school children fighting. But they want to cuss the PNM. He make an excuse. Education is the worst. When it was Anthony Garcia, Lovell Francis, or now Nyan Gadsby Dolly, the worst performance, not a school bill, no funding for PAN, for culture, for sport in schools, the CAPE, CSEC, SEA, worst performance, cut gate from 726 million, fire staff at UTT. Oh, but they didn't fire you, CHALKDUST. They fire everybody else who making sense. So everything in the education is collapsing. But he's trying to say it's the children misbehaving and fighting. And the PNM have no responsibility for that. But all your people cussing the PNM. That's what CHALKDUST trying to say, as illogical and nonsensical as it is. He talking about water. The minister man is the worst minister of public utilities in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. 12% of the population getting 24/7 supply. In 2014 under Kamla and Ganga Singh, it was 74%. But he is trying to just throw in words, or that all you're cussing for water, but all you're getting water. Nobody ain't getting water. People cussing for real, CHALKDUST. You ain't shame with your old age self. You're supposed to be wise. The older you get, you still trying to make excuse of PNM and then tell me you have no party card, you don't support nobody. Really? Then he make a special verse talking about THA and Tobago, and he don't know what Rowley do then. Rowley born in Tobago, and for Tobagonian to spit out Rowley, there had to be something, CHALKDUST. He didn't investigate. When he collapsed the sea bridge from since he come in, pelt away the Galicia and lie about corruption and then spend more money, no procurement, bridgemans come down, putting people thing on bad, shut down the economy, moving the number of tourist arrivals international from 97,000 in 2014 to 12,000 in 18,000 in 2018. You didn't know what he did, Tobago? Disrespecting Tobago, giving Tobago Champacucho, putting the chief secretary to sit down on the ground and listen to Coleman, but Stuart Smallpen-Young and Rohan Sinanan up on a head table, decimate the economy of Tobago, disrespect Tobago, flood Tobago with COVID-19 when they were handling the situation, and tell everybody, go across to Tobago, Tobago is the place to be, and then Tobago had over 120 deaths from COVID-19. You ain't know what Rowley do the people at Tobago? Really? Then he talk about Petrotrin, that the workers at Petrotrin get some land and some back pay and so on. Not that the country is suffering with no foreign exchange, that our refinery is shut down, the amount of money that we have lost when the Ukraine war was going on, if we had been producing products, the bad gas that we're getting, the removal of the subsidy, the 11,364 people who lost jobs, the attack on the fence line communities, the businesses that shut down. With Malcolm Jones, they take out Malcolm Jones out of the court, 98 million pounds lost of the money that we're supposed to get back. That's okay. He making an apology for the shutdown of Petrotrin when it had fake oil, $118 million plus a 10-year contract, and did not appeal it. And Rowley shut down even though $64 million of reports said, do not shut down Petrotrin. CHALKDUST making excuse for Rowley and the PNM for shutting down Petrotrin, shutting down the energy sector. What about the gas price negotiation in 2017 that shut down Point Lisas and 11 companies gone? And Trinidad and Tobago now, only big boys getting US. Hey, CHALKDUST, with all due respect. And I see his ball Anil cussing the PNM because something in the last verse. Anil cussing the PNM because the PNM under Rowley is the worst government in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. Bar none. That Rowley's cabinet is the most incompetent across the board. That a field engineer and minister of finance who is implementing IMF policies and suffering the people. Rowley who is weaning the people off the government and 510 recusals in 4.5 years while ministers' family get rich. Anil cussing the PNM all around. It ain't one thing. It's about 100,000 things, Chalky. So when you're singing nonsense, and for y'all who didn't understand what CHALKDUST singing, Chalky is not a PNM. Oh gosh, oh Lord, CHALKDUST. Poor you. You still there at UTT? Okay. Bless you.